Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It is Winning Wisdom Wednesday. And of course, y'all should be here to get some wisdom today, I hope. So, happy Wednesday. Winning Wisdom Wednesday. Come on in so we can get started on our topic for today. So y'all can put some money in y'all pockets because I don't want to keep telling y'all that y'all ain't got no time left, but I don't know how to keep telling y'all that y'all ain't got no time left. So I need you all to get on board. I need you all to get on board. And I need you to be serious about the business that you're out here doing and the serving that you are out here doing as well. So you all know what to do. When you tune in, let me know that you are here. Say hey so I can acknowledge you. Share this with a friend or two. So we can make great information great again. Okay. But yes. So what I'm going to be talking about today for Winning Wisdom Wednesday is how to leverage a 4 to 5 figure offer to make your first 100K. Okay. And if you are somebody who does not like to take action, this is definitely not the training for you. This is definitely not the strategy for you. However, for those that do like to take action and for those that are serious about their gift, their craft, their service that they're out here doing, this training is perfect for you. Okay. But if you're somebody that is not open minded and does not like to take action, you can go ahead and scroll by because this ain't for you. Okay. But y'all know the drill. Let me know that you're here so I can say hey and share this with somebody again to make great information great again. Okay. So what I'm gonna get ready to do is to share my screen to so you all can see this Google Doc that I'm going to be working from. This is going to be my whiteboard, quote unquote, for today. And you all will be able to see the strategy that I'm building out right now on the spot. I was gonna type up something before now, but I was like, no, we're gonna do this on the spot on camera. So let me know when you can see my screen and we'll go ahead and dive in and get started. So we can be in and out today. Okay. So it's showing that my screen is there. So hopefully you all can see it and you all can still hear me and everything is going the way that it needs to go. So for those of you that are starting a coaching business, that I wanted to start a consulting business, that I wanted to start any type of service based business, and you're trying to figure out how to go about it. So I just recently did a live about why you should be adding a consulting component to your business. Everybody that has solved problems, has a level of expertise, has education, is a thought leader, you should be adding a consulting component to your business. Even if, you don't necessarily feel like you're a great fit for it, I'm telling you today, on this day, you should be adding a consulting component to your business. I did the rundown about, how coaching is really just a title. I mean, coaching is really just a skill set, it's not really a title. So even for those of you that are not fond of being referred to as coaches, it doesn't matter because you're using the skill set daily, right? So I need you to think skills versus title and remove all of that about how you feel, all of that emotional upfrontness about how you feel about what the title is and this, that, and the other. Remove all of that so we can get to the bag. Okay. So today, what we're going to be walking through is again how to leverage a 4 to 5 figure offer to make your first 100K. And if you are somebody who does not necessarily have that particular offer yet, maybe you have an offer that's between 2 and 3 figures. That's okay. I'm gonna teach you how easy it is for you to actually determine to move up to that 4 to 5 space, so you can get to whatever your goal is a little bit quicker, right? So the first thing that I want you all to realize is that 99% of the people that are out here are beginners. Okay. 99% of the people that are out here that are searching for information, that are looking for information from you, are beginners. They are still trying to learn the foundational aspects of the thing. They are still trying to learn the basics of whatever it is, whatever industry, whatever field, whatever service, whatever it is that they're trying to go into. So for you to think that there's not a space for you out here to do what it is that you want to do, I need you to go ahead and remove that belief because it is not true. You have plenty of space out here to do what you need to do because 99% of people that are looking up information, when you think of Google, when you're going on YouTube, when you're going on TikTok, when you're doing SEO searching, when you're doing hashtag searching, 99% of people are beginners. So you have the chance to come in and help beginners be great from the start. Help them learn from the mistakes that you have already made instead of hiding behind them. Use the pain for purpose, okay? Use the pain for power and in your pocketbook, okay? Help shrink somebody's amount of time that they have to be able to learn a thing or get through a thing. Help shrink it down and get paid well for it. There's nothing wrong with it. So again, you need to remove any emotional constructs you have about going out and teaching and charging what it is that you need to charge because the bills don't care about your emotions. Let's just be clear. They got to get paid, right? But you need to be thinking even more past surviving for the day, right? You need to be thinking more of longevity, which is why I talk about playing the long game so much because this is what this is about. If you're a real business owner, you're here to play the long game. You're not looking for short form solutions, right? Knowing how to leverage a 4 to 5 figure offer can truly add a form of a quantum leap to your business if you get out here and you work the strategy. However, if you're somebody that I just want to know the information so I can say that I have it instead of actually working the strategy, this is not going to be a great training for you. It's just not. And you're not going to benefit from it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started again. This training, oh, I didn't announce it. This training will only be up, I'm thinking 24 hours, but maybe I might leave it up for 48. So you need to come in and get what you need and get it and get the notes that you need and go ahead and start taking action because I am going to take it down at least probably after 48 hours, if not 24 hours. I'm going to figure it out. But it's not going to stay up. So if you are here, you need to pay attention. If you are here, you need to ask questions because you're not going to have the opportunity to ask questions after this live is over. So take advantage of that now while you are here. If you're somebody who's watching the replay, put your questions in the comments of the replay and I'll come back and I'll answer them. Okay. But let's get started. So ideally, for you to figure out how you're going to make your first 100K, you definitely need a 4 to 5 figure offer. Can you do it with a 2 to 3 figure offer? You can, but we're trying to get you to close the gap of what you need at the fastest rate possible, right? So ideally, we would love for you to have an offer that is between 4 to 5 figures, okay? Because that's going to help you close that gap a lot faster. And what I like to tell people is I like to be able to see the money before I can see the money, okay? If you are looking at your offers or your products that you're selling and you don't necessarily know how to bring them together to help be able to hit a goal like 100K, which is basically $10,000 a month, a little over 10,000, $10,000 a month. So, because $10,000 a month, we got 12 months in a year, that's 120K, right? But if you are somebody who's like, I'm looking at my products, I'm looking at my services, and I don't see how I can make 100K, it's definitely going to be hard for you if you can't see it with the price points that you already have. That is the first mental disconnect that you are having in terms of how you are going to meet the number that you have set for yourself and getting there. Okay, that is the first mental block that you have to remove. The second mental block that you have to remove is the fact that you need to have the confidence and the courage to go out here and sell stuff that you already know. You're already an expert at these things. It's not you having to reinvent the wheel. It's most certainly, hey cousin, it's most certainly you getting out here and doing things that you are already doing naturally already. So we're not trying to pull you out of a state that is not natural to you. We're not trying to force you to get up here and do a service or promote any information that you don't already naturally do, right? You're just not getting paid what you need to get paid for. That's it, right? So ideally, the first thing that we need, I can type today. The first thing that we need is an offer that is at least $2,000, at least. If you do not have an offer as a service-based business owner or somebody that's wanting to start coaching or consulting, if you do not at least have an offer that's $2,000, you are probably making this way harder for you than what it has to be. Okay? Because let's do the numbers. At an offer that is at least $2,000, if, like we just stated, to hit 100K in a year is a little less than 10K a month. I think it's like $8,333 or something like that. So to be able to do that, you have to have an offer that is able to equip you to get there. Okay. You have to have an offer that is able to equip you to get there. If you don't have one that's able to equip you to get there, it's going to be hard for you to see. It's going to be hard for you to get over the overwhelm of, oh, I got to talk to so many people to sell so many 2 to 3 figure types of packages or products or whatever. It's going to be really difficult for you to grasp. So with the offer at $2,000, we're looking at saying, okay, to close this gap, for me to make my first 100K, whether it's 100K in a year or 100K in a month, whatever you decide your gusto is, go for it, right? At minimum, if you only have a $2,000 offer to make 100K, we can do the math. I don't know where my calculator is on my on my computer, but I'm looking at my phone. So 100K divided by 2,000, that is 50 people, right? That you would have to sell to in a year. If your goal is 100K for the year, that is 50 people. So this is 100K per year equals 50 people or 50 or closed sales on this offer that you would have to make in a year. Okay. So ideally, if you need to just close 50 people a year to hit 100K, that's not a large number, considering to how many people you're exposed to online, how many people you actually meet in person, how much other types of networking that you might actually do. So when you get referrals, word of mouth referrals, those count as well too. You only need 50 people at a $2,000 offer to hit 100K. And I'm gonna try to do a couple of examples, right? You only need a $2,000 offer to hit 100K. Okay. So I mean, you only need 50 people to hit 100K at a $2,000 offer. So if that's the case, the first thing that you have to do is figure out what is this? What is the offer? What is the offer? Who are you offering it to? How you are going to deliver it? Those are like the first 3 basic questions that you need to ask. Okay. And remember, if you're here, let me know that you're here so I can say, hey. So these are the first 3 questions, just basic questions that you need to ask. What is the offer? Who are you offering it to? And how are you going to deliver it? Okay. So I'll use an example. For myself, I'll use myself as an example, but I'll do another. No, let me see. I'll use a past client as an example. So I have a past client that was doing health coaching or nutrition based coaching, right? So he had a $2,000 offer. Within that $2,000 offer, he was offering 60 days of health coaching, or personalized nutrition coaching is really what it was. Was personalized nutrition coaching, right? In this personalized nutrition coaching, he in particular either curated a personalized meal plan or cooked the food for the client. This particular offer also came with suggested supplements that he has a supplement line in his business. So this particular offer included the supplements that they needed for this particular journey. So that was included inside of the package, right? So then he also was somebody that he makes smoothies. He included the smoothies to go along with their meal plan inside of this offer as well. Okay. So for 60 days of meal planning and meal prep, this is what they got for 2K. This is what we came up with. And so what we had to do, so this is what the offer is. Who he was offering it to, so audience, the audience that he was seeking were people that dealt with chronic disease, chronic disease, or suffered with other curable, we'll say, ailments, but needed targeted support for their journey. Another thing that he also did is he reviewed their blood work and he broke it down. He broke it down instead of in the complicated language that typically doctors use. He broke it down in layman's terms to make it easier for them to understand what's actually going on with their body. After he reviewed the blood work, he was able to curate the customized nutritional coaching and planning to create this personalized experience for them for the next 60 days. Okay. But his ideal client was somebody that was seeking, that was dealing with chronic disease or suffer with other curable ailments, but needed targeted support for their journey. They needed somebody to take the guesswork out of what was going on with them and help them get a little bit closer to, wherever their goal was as far as getting rid of the disease or whatever ailment that they were dealing with. Okay. So that's who you're offering to. So how are you delivering it? So this is what is the offer. This is who are you offering it to. And now we're going into how will you deliver it? Will you deliver? Okay. So how will you deliver it? This is what stops people from doing a lot of what they need to do in their business because they get so stuck on, well, how am I going to deliver an offer for $2,000? Am I going to want to fulfill their work? Or just not even wanting to fulfill the work. They literally just get stuck on the fact that they have to figure out how to deliver the offer. You need to be able to sell the offer first. You need to know who the offer is for, and you need to be able to package it up together and sell it. Worry about the how on the back end, okay? Because more than likely you're overthinking the how. So for this particular offer, we did set up systems for this offer, but even prior to the systems being set up, he was able to just go and sell this offer with a simple scheduling system for them to be able to schedule time with him and do consultations with him. And then he just led them to the offer and closed the offer. It was just that simple. So a lot of people start getting overwhelmed with the how and the delivery because they get overwhelmed with like they need all of this large amount of tech, which actually you don't. Um, when I first started my business, I was able to make my first 10K in my business without having a website. All I had was a scheduler and I did phone calls and I was able to close my first 10K in sales without it, right? So it's all about like your perception. If you think you need to have all of the bells and whistles, then you will continually let that crutch you into believing that you think you need to have all the bells and whistles because you don't necessarily have to have all the bells and whistles to close a sale. I know that's what social media probably has kind of constructed over the years because we started getting caught on the word funnel, which is why I did the training that I did last Saturday about funnels. But again, funnel is just a really simple, techie word for saying that you have a process to help somebody get from point A to point B. That's it. That's literally all it is. You do not have to have tech to have a process. You just know your steps and your process to get somebody from point A to point B. It's literally that simple. So if you could just lean on that to be able to get to the end of this process, you can close this $2,000 offer one time. You can close it 3 times. You can close it 5 to 10 times if you allow yourself to do so. But if you get too caught up in the how you're going to deliver it, you're never going to be able to kill those feelings of doubt or overwhelm or overthinking, thinking that this is even possible for you. Because I'm literally telling you how easy it is, right? And so, how you would deliver it. So, he did this by consultations. And you don't have to have a scheduling system to book consultations. Like, if you want to book them manually, that's fine. You can start there, but that doesn't mean you have to finish there, right? But with him in particular, I systematized his whole entire business. So eventually all of that manual documentation that he was doing, it became systematized and he didn't have to do that anymore. So everything was set up in a system. So book consultations. This is how you would get your leads, right? So you're inviting people to either start a conversation in the DM with you. You're inviting people to either book a call with you. You're inviting people to fill out an application. Whatever your call to action is going to be to get them to the level of interest that they're saying that they may be interested in this particular offer, that is what you need to be doing. Okay. So for him, it was to book a call, to schedule a call or book a call with him. So book consultations that that lead to closed sales. Not necessarily all the time, but this is the process. Remember, we're going through the process. When you know process, you can get payments over and over again. You don't have to worry about how you're going to do it if you know process, right? So this led to the closed sales because once he got them in the consultation and he was able to tell them exactly what it was that was going on with them, answer their questions, make them a little bit more comfortable about like there's a solution to their problem and that is specific to them, it was easier to get them closer to being a closed sale because he's gone through know like trust, right? He's gone through know like trust and he's taken time to do the extra nurture as far as like providing them with enough information and thought leadership information to make an informed decision, which we'll talk a little bit about in a little bit. So they led to closed sales. And then basically he just delivered. So when it was time for them to do their meal prep every week, he got their menu together every week and he prepped their meals and he delivered them, or they came to pick them up, whatever case may be. But this is the start, right? So you can use a system. You can use a system if you want. It's not a must that you use one, but if you want to use a system, you can definitely use a system if you want to do the delivery for you. Because he actually ended up closing one of these once we built it out in Kajabi. He actually ended up closing one of these um, on the day of his launch and he was taking a nap. So I had already built it out in Kajabi and he ended up closing one while he was taking a nap because the system was built and the people could just go in there and buy and make the purchase. So it helps if you have a system, but if you don't have a system, do not let that hold you up from putting it out there and telling people that it's available and that it's there to offer. Okay. So that's what I want to make sure that I demystify at the start. Okay. So that's one thing. Okay. But let me see. Let me go to another type of service provider. So that's one example. Okay. Let's walk through another example for somebody else. I'll do somebody, I'll do somebody who is in hair care. So let's walk through an example for somebody who does hair. I don't know what just happened. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's walk through an example for somebody who does hair. Hey Kim. So for somebody who does hair, this is example two, hairstylist. You definitely have services as a hairstylist that you can charge $2,000 and up for, like tons, right? So for the purpose of this particular video, I'll say that this hairstylist is wanting to focus on different weaving techniques. So we'll say like K-tips, I-tips, or specialized weaving techniques. Okay. For the most part, on the market, K-tips and I-tips, those types of weaving techniques, you can charge anywhere between 1,500 and I think the highest I've seen is like 35 or $4,000 for an installation, right? Depending on the density and the type of hair that they get for their installation, you can charge pretty much, I'm gonna say probably up to about $5,000 per install. So if that's per head, just think as a hairstylist, you don't even have to be standing up doing heads all day. That just takes you going to a class and learning a new skill and you getting your money back from that class that you took, right? So we'll say the hairstylist, um, specialized weaving techniques. This is an easy way for you to come from behind the chair, right? Or not be behind the chair so long, right? So what is the offer? So we'll say that we have a 2,000 offer for a hairstylist to do K-tips, I-tips, or other specialized weaving. Maybe it's medical wigs, maybe it's something like that. Specialized weaving technique. Right? So that's the offer. So we'll say that starts at $2,000 because again, depending on the density, the type of hair, all of that will depend on how you price this, right? So who are you offering it to? So the audience for this particular offer is probably going to be a corporate professional. She may also be an entrepreneur. I cannot type today. Entrepreneur. Um, or she actually may be a housewife. Just women that typically like luxury services like this, those are going to be your audience, right? So somebody who likes luxury services like this, they're willing to pay for this specialized weaving technique because why? It helps cut down on their personal, their personal prep that they have to do in the morning every morning, right? It keeps them looking clean, rich, luxury, persona. Like it keeps that up. So they're willing to pay for a service like this to keep that clean, professional look that they're desiring to have for the persona that they have and they show up in every day, the identity rather that they show up in every day. So corporate professionals, entrepreneurs, Especially influencers, people like that, they're going to be willing to pay two. We'll just put 2 to 5,000 here for this specialized weaving technique. So with a service like this, again, to make 100K in a year, you only need to service 50 people. You can service as a hairstylist, somebody with specialized weaving techniques. You can service up to probably like 2 heads doing this a day. So at the end of the week, if you work, I don't know, if you work, even if you just work Monday through Friday, right? Hey, James, even if you just work Monday through Friday as a hairstylist and you see 2 heads a day at this price point, you're going to come out making between what? 10, 10 to 10 to what, 50? Let me see. My math ain't math, y'all. Yeah. So 2,000 times 2. That's 2 heads a day at 2,000. Times 5. That's $20,000 in a week on the low end. If you were to learn this technique as a hairstylist and then provide the service at a $2,000 price point, these techniques are not going below $2,000. They're not. So it's all about like what you want to do and how you want to go about it, right? You don't have to get into your first 100K hard, right? So I did I just finished basically just finished this for a hairstylist, right? So how will you deliver it? Of course, you have to come to your appointment. So you can use a scheduler, of course, to have the people book their appointments and consultations. For this type of service, you have to have a consultation because you need to be able to assess the client's scalp and hair before you proceed to do one of these services. Okay. So you can include that with the package, or you can have it free, or you can have them pay for it separate. It's all about what you want to do in your business, right? But you can use the scheduler to have people book their appointments and their consultations and then provide the service. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And I know you like, so nigga, you making this too easy. It seems like it's too easy, but it's easy if you put in the work. If you don't put in the work for it, it will be harder for you to see. So let's do one more example, and then I'll get to the bulk of like how do you start doing your client attraction process to even make sales like this happen. So this is example 3. For this example, let me see who I want to use for this example. For this particular example, I did health coaching, I did hairstyling. For this particular example, I'll do a website designer. Okay. So if you're somebody that's wanting to do website design or graphic services in that regard, you can easily sell a $2,000 offer because if you selling websites less than $2,000, I got my eyebrows is looking side eyeing you. I'm side eyeing you right now. So let's just say, what is the offer? So the offer, the service that is being provided is website design. Now let's be clear. For those of you that just do design but don't optimize the website, you cannot charge $2,000 for this service because if you just making a website, just decorating it and making it pretty, and you're not optimizing it for their client, if you don't know their skill set, you are not helping them. Like it's great, but it's not going to help them truly get the benefits of what they need because again, you don't need a website to make money. You need a website to make you credible, I will say, but you don't have to have one to start generating income when you're getting started in your business or really at any journey in your business. It's just up to you, right? And it's up to the type of business that you want to offer. Now, when you start getting into the B2B side of business, like you want to do business with like larger brands, larger corporations, and even then too, though, most of the people that make the decisions and sign the checks, they don't even really check for your website. But when you get into like government contracts and stuff like that, maybe. right? But don't let the simple fact that you don't have a website cause you to feel like you can't go out here and command a $2,000 sale, right? Don't start overthinking about it because that's not what it is, right? But again, so what is the offer? Website design and optimization as far as for SEO placement. So we just gonna say this is the $2,000 package right now, right? Who are you offering it to? Well, this is up to you. So you have an opportunity to determine whether or not you want to serve a particular niche of people. So if you only want to focus on beauty professionals, that's fine. If you only want to focus on people who are working on their personal branding, that's fine. If you want to focus on speakers or authors, that's fine. Figure out who your group is going to be, and you can zone in on them and target them and just make that your rap sheet, right? Hey, Plush Beauties. So we'll just say for this particular example, we'll just say that this particular audience is going to be, we'll say for speakers. Speakers who desire to reach more people and markets for their speaker topics, whatever they specialize in speaking in, right? Which there's another rabbit hole to go down, right? But okay, so how will you deliver it? So of course, again, people are going to have to book consultations with you, and this is probably something that's going to be better done on a Zoom consultation, so you can show your portfolio if you have it, or even if you don't have a portfolio, you are your first customer. So don't leave that as an excuse as to why you can't go and sell an offer like this either. You are your first customer. Build websites and build mock websites, even if you need to, just to be able to show your level of skills and work that you have. You don't have to let people know that you ain't had no customers. Like, y'all have to be way more strategic about your approach to your business instead of drowning in woe is me. I ain't got no customers yet and I ain't got nothing to show. Like, y'all be doing way too much. Way too much. But you can use the scheduler to have people book their appointments, book their consultations, or you can start the conversation in the DM and again, just manually book phone calls. Please do not make this process difficult. The goal is for you to start and to create enough momentum and to build enough confidence to say, if I close one $2,000 offer, I can close another $2,000 offer and another $2,000 offer. And after I've closed at least probably 3 to 5 of those, I can raise the price on it. Because I got enough of a track sheet now. Now I can raise the price. I got enough reviews. I got enough feedback. I have built my skills. I have learned from my mistakes along the way, building on projects. I've built up enough now. So now I can raise the price. So maybe this particular offer doesn't remain at $2,000 now. Now maybe it goes up to $5,000. And you can add more to the offer, right? If that's what you desire to do. But if this one is doing good and you don't want to add more to it, you don't necessarily have to, right? You're just raising the price for the quality of your work and your delivery because you've gotten the street cred, quote unquote, to be able to do so. So it's simple. How will you deliver it? Use the schedule, have people book their consultations, or manually book them. Manually book the phone call or Zoom call. It would be better probably if you do a Zoom call though. And then provide the service. Like, it's just as simple. Do what you say you're going to do. If you do what you say you're going to do, people are going to love the experience with you. Because most, from what I'm seeing, there's a lot of people out here who ain't doing what they say they're going to do. So you would kill a lot of that just doing what you say you're going to do, right? So there's 3 different examples as to how a $2,000 offer can work to help you get to your first 100K. So we built 3 offers right now, right? So I know your next question is, what is the client attraction process? I cannot type today. So what is the client attraction process for this? So of course, you have a responsibility, right? Of course, you have a responsibility. to show up and let people know, number one, that you have the offer, but not just that you have the offer. Number two, that you are knowledgeable about the offer through content creation. And I mean thought leadership content creation. I don't mean sharing memes and copy and paste statuses all day, because we don't know. That's not telling anybody anything about your expertise, right? You know these things. You have the skills for these things. Nobody can take the skill set away from you. So display that through thought leadership content and well-informed or well-structured content, typically through writing. If you are an entrepreneur, you cannot avoid the fact that you need to learn how to write, that you need to learn how to sell, that you need to learn how to market, and that you need to learn how to speak. I don't care who you are. You ain't running no business not knowing how to do those four things. Those are the foundations of your business. So for those of you that only feel like you only got to do one or the other, I'm so sorry to tell you that you can't. Okay? You're going to have to learn how to do these things until you can outsource them, if that's your desire. If it's not your desire to have a large team and a large business, you want to remain a one-person business model or a solopreneur, you're definitely going to have to learn those skills until you can get up to the speed to where you can at least hire out. Or even still, when you hire out, you're going to need to know those skills. So when you hire out and you do the assigning of the responsibilities, you're able to tell them what it is that you want, how you want it, and what it's supposed to be like. Because if you've never experienced that and tried to, explore that skill for your own business and your own success, it's going to be hard trying to book an agency or hire a VA or hire somebody to come into your business and just expect them to know exactly how you want it to be. So I challenge your thinking as far as, do you have to learn marketing? Do you have to learn how to speak? Do you have to learn sales? Do you have to learn how to write? I challenge your thinking around all four of those. You should know how to do all four of those, especially if you're going to be the face of your business, right? So the client attraction process for this is creating thought leadership content regularly. So that's going to be in the form of video. That's going to be in the form of writing. That's going to be in the form of how you display information. So think about the ways that people learn and they digest information. This is your way to display that information. So if you know something will be better broken out, like if you're doing like 5 tips for something, you know that's better structure for something like a carousel, to where people can swipe through and read it, because people's attention spans are short. If you know that you're trying to drop like a quick tip of the day, that's something that you could do really quick in a reel, and it'll catch people's attention. They'll stay there long enough to grasp it, and then you can direct them with what you need to, with adding the words to the screen or in the caption, to tell them what the next step is on how to book you for this service, or how to learn more, or how to book their free consultation, whatever case may be. You need to understand what your call to action is going to be. So creating thought leadership content regularly, because you all are already experts. So you might as well show up and just be the expert that you are. Okay. There's enough room for all of us to be experts if we want to be experts, right? But you have to claim this space. Can't nobody claim this space for you. So creating thought leadership content regularly. What you can also do is you can leverage other people's platforms to get in front of different people, which I talk about often. So this is your opportunity to strategically partner with people that have similar ideals, or that maybe you're good in one area and they're good in another, and then you all can partner and talk about these things to bring the information to people. That's getting you in front of their audience. So that's adding more to your audience and more to your exposure. Because remember, our starting number is, in order to make 100K in a year, you only need to sell 50 of this $2,000 offer. There are 365 days in a year. You only need to sell 50 of them, right? Even at a sale a day, like, you still have so much more time, more time to make more sales, right? But you have to use your time wisely. You have to have your process outlined properly. If you don't know what your process is, yes, it's going to be hard for you to maximize this. This is also why I'm talking about having a digital transformation strategy, right? As well too, right? With my workshop. So creating thought leadership content regularly, leveraging partnerships and community to get in front of others platforms. I literally cannot type today. But yeah, leveraging partnerships and community to get in front of others platforms. And then knowing your process and your call CTAs, but I'm gonna write that out. Call to actions. Okay. Some of you all don't know what the acronyms mean, so I'll spell it out. So knowing your process and your CTAs. So this is literally what I have done with most of my clients. What you all have to understand is the type of content that you create, types of content that you create matter. So in most cases, you are going to be sharing a lot of educational content. If you are not educating your potential customers or buyers about why they need this, what the transformation is, that they should expect, those types of things, it's going to be really hard for you to convince somebody, or not even, because it ain't even about convincing somebody, but it's going to be really hard to sell yourself to people. Hey, Kavasi, it's going to be really hard to sell yourself to people if you are not educating them on all of the different ins and outs about it. Because again, people are looking to you to be a thought leader. And if you are not willing to just share free information pretty regularly or free insight pretty regularly, then it's going to be hard to have people that are like, they're willing to spend this amount of money with you, right? So all of the information that you're saying that you have in your head, that you wrote in notebooks, that you write in your journal, those are content topics. Those are educating based topics for you to get on here and talk about and create content about. So you need educating content or education content. You need that. The motivation content, cool. It ain't helping you get sales though, right? The complaining on the platforms every day, fine. It ain't helping you get sales though. But you definitely need education content. You need, sometimes it needs to be engaging content, engagement. Sometimes you need engagement based content. Sometimes you need to ask questions, run polls, create those engagement based content, right? Education and informative to me kind of go in the same place, but the bulk of your content is going to be education. Now, seeing as most of the people that I have worked with have been in the health, wellness, beauty, food, and hospitality spaces, educative content is super easy for them because it's a simple knowledge download, right? So if you are somebody that is in any of those particular industries, you don't have the space to say that you're not going to come out here and educate people, because there's too much misinformation out here that has to be redirected with good information and filtered with good information. Even if you're not in those spaces, right? You need to be able to articulate what is happening in your industry. You need to know what's going on. You need to study your industry, you need to study your craft, and you need to be able to reflect that you have had time to study your industry and study your craft, because you know what you know, right? All of those are opportunities for content. If you're somebody who's just like, well, I don't really want to do it on social media, that's fine. But your offline strategy is going to have to be really targeted and really heavy. So if you don't want to leverage social media, that's fine. However, you will have to be at networking events fairly regularly. You will have to be somebody that attends conferences fairly regularly. You will need to be a part of some professional organizations for quite a bit to be able to get in front of the people that you need to get in front of. It's really simple if you can do the one-to-many approach. I talked about that yesterday. I did a post about that yesterday. Learn how to leverage the ability of doing one-to-many versus one-to-one. If you get the opportunity to do a one-to-many and you have an opportunity to do a workshop or something like that for this offer, you can do a one-to-many approach, right? Which is like I said, a workshop, or you speak, you present, whatever it is. And at the end of the workshop, you tell people how they can work with you. If you just spoke to a room of 50 people at a 33% conversion rate, which I think is the average conversion rate, if you just spoke to a room of 50 people, you only need to convert 15 of them at average. Now, if you do more, that's great. But 15 people times 2,000, that's 30K. And you spoke to a group of people one time. So if you're going to do the offline strategy, I would rather you go about it that way than just trying to meet so many people one-to-one, right? But when you have the offline strategy and you couple it with a really great digital strategy, then it makes it a little bit easier for you to have enough footprints everywhere, right? You can have digital footprints and real physical footprints, right? You can marry the two together and help them work in your favor if you have a streamlined digital strategy to help your business grow, right? So, types of content, education, and engagement. But what's the strategy? Which I kind of went into, I think, Saturday when I did the training strategy, the training Saturday. But what's the strategy? So the strategy is, if you're going to focus online, you have to have somewhere else to take your people. They can't just be on your timeline. You have to have another place to direct your people. Ideally, the first place, because again, go back to my funnel training that I did Saturday. Ideally, the first place is going to be for you to take them to an email list, to a community that you have. If it's a Facebook group, that's great. I would rather you have somewhere off of Facebook though. So if you have a community that you have that you can take them to, that's free or paid, it doesn't matter, right? Ideally, your goal is to get your people off of your social media timeline, because what is happening on your social media timeline is that there's only so much value and so much nurture you're going to be able to do with the people that call themselves engaging with you every day, right? And let's also be clear though, engagement doesn't necessarily mean that you're booking sales. Doesn't necessarily mean that means sales, right? Because again, I will continue to emphasize, most people that have booked a service with me do not engage with my content. They don't. They slide in my DM, they send me an email, whatever, and we have a conversation. They typically aren't people that engage with my content. They're watching, but they're not engaging, right? So engagement doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have sales. This is why when you create a space like an email list or an offline community, you know that if these people are coming offline, off of your social media timeline, these are people that really, really rock with you. They like, no, my goal is one day to be able to spend some form of money with her, right? So the goal is to get them in your funnel. And again, if you didn't watch the funnel training I did last Saturday, it's on my page. Go back and watch it. I broke it down and I made it real simple for you to understand how it works so you can leverage it for your digital strategy in your business, right? So it's to get them into your funnel and build a pipeline. That's the goal, right? To get them into your funnel and build a pipeline, get them to your email list. I know everybody has these thoughts about email lists, but I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you don't own your social media platform. So if you truly want to maximize what you have to offer, you need to at least, if you don't want to use email lists right now, you need to at least be having collecting these people's information. So if something does happen to social media, which it eventually will, you are still able to contact these people, right? So even if you don't want to email people right now, get them in a Google spreadsheet or Excel spreadsheet or something, and at least have the contact information. Okay. So get them to your email list or get them to your free or paid community, preferably off of social media, preferably. Okay. This is where the real magic happens within this strategy, is if you can get them there. And this same that works for in person as well too. So the goal is to get them there and to nurture them enough again so they go through the stages of the funnel. Once they have received enough nurture, because remember what I told you all, it used to be 7 or 8 times that somebody could see your business, see your offer, know what it is that you do, and they're like, okay, I'm ready to buy, right? Post vid, things are different now. People's attention spans are way shorter. So you need to get in front of them, one individual, at least 16 to 20 times for them to be able to make a decent connection with what it is that you do, how you do it, the offer that you have, the transformation you deliver, who you are, all of that. That's a lot of touch points. You cannot think that you're doing all of it just by social media alone. If you run ads, maybe, but it's still a lot of touch points. Even running ads doesn't necessarily mean nurture, right? If you're running ads, the idea is that they should be immediately converted into a sale or something. Depends on the goal of the ad, though, right? But you need to get them in to where they're nurtured. You start building a community. You start building a group of people that you have a safe space for, and that they know at some point along the journey they are going to spend money with you. And in most cases, people who do spend money with you, they come back and spend more. So you're keeping the pipeline filled and fresh with new leads regularly, which is why it's important to get in front of new people regularly, right? But also don't forget to continue nurturing the people that are already in there, because you shouldn't get comfortable because they're already there. You should still continue to nurture them. You should still continue to offer things to them. You should still continue to build that space for them so they stay there. And then also they in turn invite other people. So you have to think long term. You have to play the long game with this. This is why it's very important to have a structured digital strategy that goes with everything that you do, because it's not just solely about, I'm gonna post this offer on social media and somebody's gonna pay me for it. That's why it's so intimidating, because y'all can't think past it. Kavai said, do you recommend ads and have it go to the website or to message you to the client? I am not an ad specialist. However, I will say that you will lose a lot of money in ads if you don't understand who your organic market is. So if you don't have enough organic data to determine how to properly set up that ad to target the people that you know have already been buying from you and that you've already had great experiences with, you will take too much money in ads. Also, the ad cost for things has gone up now because it's a lot of different back end stuff that's going on now. So if you go back there and you set them up without having that proper knowledge, or without having like that avatar to set the ad up for, and then also understanding the goal of the ad, you will end up losing a lot of money. I know a lot of the posts have like the boost button at the bottom. In my personal opinion, that boost button don't do nothing. That's my personal opinion. However, I'm not an ad strategist. I would invite you to go talk to somebody who really does like do ads 24/7, or an agency or something like that, right? Exactly. And that's only going to continue to happen, which again, that's another live that I did earlier this month. Facebook is making changes with how they're going to serve people on these platforms. You are going to pay. I'm telling you all, you are going to get to a point to where you're going to have to pay to be able to come on here, source people for your business, say whatever you want to say. You're going to have to pay if you want to. It's going to be a pay to play app. This world is a pay-to-play world. So it's not going to continue to be free real estate for you all, because they're looking at the fact that we want, number one, we want quality content again, because the content then got out of control, right? We want quality content again. And we also want to provide people a space. We want to provide people a space who are willing to put their money up. So that's a different dynamic of people, which means it's going to clear out a lot of junk. These platforms are going to get to the point to where they are going to charge us to be here. And by that time, baby, I won't be here. So if you ain't in my offline community or on my email list, you won't see me. I paid $42 for a $30 for the weekend. Like, where did that $12 come from? Listen, they have the authority to change the prices and add fees whenever they want to. Like, I know we don't read the fine print and stuff like that regularly, but like, it's in there. They can do it whenever they want to, and they don't have to make mass announcements about it or anything like that. So you really need to be careful again about what your strategy looks like and what your purpose is of being on these platforms, because it's not free. It's not free. It's just not. But anyway, so the strategy is to get them to your free or paid community, preferably off of social media, right? Or to get them to your email list, get them into your funnel and build a pipeline. I don't care what you're doing. This is what you should be doing. I don't care what service you have to offer. This is what you should be doing. This is what you should be doing, right? So initially, like I said, the types of content that you're going to be sharing, you need to be showing up and sharing those regularly. If you do not go live for your business, you are really doing yourself a disservice. You really, really are. I would encourage you to do more lives, and then you could take that and just chop those lives up. Instead of you having to do so much different content, go live on your platform and just chop the lives up and turn the lives into reels, and stop overthinking content. Like, you don't have to overthink this. Hey, Donald, you don't have to overthink it, right? So go live and show us what you're doing. Go live and talk about these topics. Go live and display your thought leadership. Those are opportunities for you to chop that content up and use it for reels, so you can continue to repurpose the content. And you're not having to always like make content. You can repurpose this content for multiple forms of display, right? Okay. Let me see. So we went through three examples. We went through three examples of offer at least $2,000. So let's look at an offer. Let's look at an offer, because I said 4 to 5 figures. So let's just look at an offer that's 10K. So we'll do an example 4, right? This offer is at 10K, $10,000, right? That's the first in 5 figures. So this offer is at $10,000, $10,000 offer for, let's see what we want to build a $10,000 offer for. Or if you are in the coaching space, we'll build a $10,000 offer for a personal branding for corporate professionals. So actually, I'm gonna take this down to the bottom. For what is the offer? Put it here. And so the offer is a $10,000 offer for personal branding for corporate professionals. So let's cut this and put this here. So if you are a personal branding consultant, this is a good offer for you. This is a good offer for you. So what is the offer? A $10,000 offer for personal branding for corporate professionals. And this includes, let's just say this includes closet styling, color analysis. So like, what colors look good on your skin and your presence for the role that you're doing on a daily basis. We'll say closet styling for body type, and then personal shopping and updated headshots, something like that. And then personal development training around speaking and writing. We'll just say this what the $10,000 offer has, right? So, as a personal branding consultant, you can sell this $10,000 offer. So, going back to what we said, where our goal is to make $100K in a year. So, if we have a $10,000 offer, if you make $10,000 a month, that's $120,000 in a year, right? But you only have to close 10 of them to make $100K. So you don't even have to take a whole year to sell 10 of these packages to make $100K. You can literally just sell 10, way before the year is up, right? So at this price point, we'll say the $10,000 per month would equal $120,000 a year, right? But you only need 10 sales of this offer to hit 100K. Okay. So looking at this example, you cut down the amount of time that you have to spend trying to get here even more because now the offer could cost more money. However, what I have not discussed yet is that you need to be tracking. Well, I did kind of discuss, I just discussed it. You need to be realizing how many people you're getting in front of, and you need to track that. So that's also a part of the nurture process. So if you had consultations with people or if you had conversations with people and they didn't necessarily close the sale during that time, you need to be able to do a follow-up process. That's part of your strategy. So what is the strategy? Adding this to that, having a follow-up process. Right? That's part of your strategy because everybody may not convert to a sale right then. However, you can track your engagements with them and make sure that you're tracking like the amount of times that you follow up, the amount of times that you go back to them and kind of like ask them if they're interested, those interested around this time, stuff like that. You should be tracking all of those touch points during that time, right? Regardless if they closed or not. You should be tracking it, right? So let's just say for this offer, for example, for again, the personal branding consultant that has a $10,000 offer and $10,000 a month is $120K for the year, right? So that's if you sell 12 packages, but you only need to sell 10 of this offer to hit $100K. Okay, just 10. So for the $2,000 offer we did earlier, you would have to sell 50 in a year to do $100K in a year. But for this one, since we've raised it to 10K, you would have to sell 10 to hit 100K in a year. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. So what is the offer? The $10,000 offer, personal branding for corporate professionals, closet styling for your body type, a color analysis, personal shopping, updated headshots, personal development training around speaking and writing. I think that this is a really bomb offer. I might need to offer this. But who are you offering it to? So obviously, this is for corporate professionals. And more than likely, this would be targeted more so towards women. Men will buy it too, but this would probably be a better offer, not to discriminate, for women, C-suite women, or even C-suite men, right? that are in that space. So corporate professionals that are in the C-suite, they're probably going to be your number one targets. Corporate professionals that are in upper or mid management, and they may be trying to brand themselves for a promotion, to go for a different role, maybe step into a different industry, stuff like that. So they're trying to prep themselves for that. But that's who the audience is for this. And so, how will you deliver it? Again, the how is always so simple. The how is much more simple than the actual process itself, right? So, how you deliver it? Use a scheduler to have people book their consultations or manually book their phone call again, and then provide the service. Do what you say you're gonna do, right? Of course, the intricacies of like having contracts and stuff like that, of course, you need to gauge that on your own. But for the most part, this is the bulk of what it is that you need to do, right? So again, this is a $10,000 offer. You would only need to sell 10 to hit 100K. But that might mean, again, that you would have to get in front of who knows how many people. So we'll say if I only need to sell 10, I probably need to 5 or 10x that number as to how many people I actually get in front of. So if I only need to sell 10, I need to be trying to work on getting in front of at least 50 to 100, if not more than that, people. Because the only way that you increase your chances to close a sale is if you have increased your opportunities that you have gotten in front of. So when you start thinking about getting in front of people, I want you to start thinking about it in terms of this is an opportunity. Getting in front of more people is more of an opportunity for me to be able to close the sale because I'm getting in front of new people on a regular basis. That's how you kind of have to start looking at it, right? Instead of just saying, oh my God, I got to find new people. No, like the more people that you get in front of, the more people that you have the opportunity for them to be able to say yes to you to close this sale. So it's not that it would be impossible to sell a $10,000 offer. It's very well possible to sell a $10,000 offer. I've sold $10,000 offers. However, you are going to have to be cognizant as to how many people you're getting in front of. Again, even with the $2,000 offer we discussed earlier, you need to get 50 confirmed and closed sales to hit 100K in a year. So if you know you have to get 50 confirmed or closed sales to get 100K in a year from a $2,000 offer, you need to be prepared to probably get in front of 5 to 10 times more people than that number. So what does that look like? If you only need 50 sales, 50 times 5 is 250. I need to at least be able to get in front of 250 people. Hey, Adrian, at least probably be able to get in front of 250 people on the low end to be able to close at least 50 sales. And that's low, right? But if we 10x that, so we'll say between 250 and 500 people, I should probably be able to close at least 50 sales. That's realistic to me, right? But if you know you are not actively getting in front of people, you know that you are not going to actively have the opportunity to be able to sell and hit these numbers. And that's where a lot of people fall off. They fall off in the revenue generating activities or the lead generation process because they feel like if they have platforms on social media of people who are, they have the 5,000, Facebook friends, you have X amount of followers on Facebook as well too. You have your platform or your people that are on your business page as well. You have however many followers you have on Instagram, wherever you are. Like when they look at those numbers combined, they're like, well, I'm getting in front of the people. Well, technically, no, not on social media because your content is not being shown to everybody. So even if you have 5,000 friends, it doesn't necessarily mean that 5,000 friends saw your content. And we all know that, right? We all know that. So you can't automatically think that that kind of connects into what it is that you're doing. You definitely have to have a more intentional and strategic strategy. Again, going back to the digital strategy that workshop that I'm hosting here next month, You have to have a more intentional strategy and way to bring your audience to you, nurture them, build a community for them, and create space for them, and work them down your funnel or your pipeline to where they have built enough trust with you to be able to invest for these types of things, right? And work their way up the ladder. So if you have an ascension-based business model, give them opportunities at each point in the funnel, again, for them to work themselves up the ladder. Because if they continuously purchase with you, smaller purchases, and work their way up to a larger purchase like this $2,000 or this $10,000 offer, you have given them a lot of value to pull from and look for. So if that's the amount of value that you're giving in like a $49 digital product, and they just like, dang, she gave all of this away for $49, I know her $10,000 offer gonna be fired, like no question. I need to work with her, and I need to figure out how I'm gonna get the money to do it, right? But give value at every stage in the funnel so people can work themselves up ascension based wise, right? An ascension based business model, right? Or diversifying your offers, whatever you want to label it as. But learn how to take pieces of your core offer. So if some of you all determine that this $2,000 or this $10,000 offer is a core offer, learn how to take pieces of your core offer and create smaller products that can meet people at each part of the funnel and work their way up to your core experience, your core transformation, your core offer. Not constantly trying to reinvent the wheel, right? So we don't want to make this hard. We don't want to make this hard. But yeah, so we just went through 4 examples as to how you can hit 100K in a year. If you want to in a month, these numbers still apply for the month. So if you want to hit 100K in a month, you need 10 sales of this $10,000 package per month, right? It's doable, right? If you want to hit 100K in a month at the $2,000 mark, you need 50 people per month that you can close this sale on to be able to hit that every month, okay? And that does not necessarily include as well, like I said again, you pulling out smaller pieces of products that you can offer that lead to your core offer and build up, nurture, and build up trust and build them down the funnel, right? So that's in addition to. So there's more income if you have those options available to your audience, okay? So hopefully this is a training that made sense to you. This training, again, will only be up 24 to 48 hours. I'm not sure exactly when, but I know it won't be longer than 48 hours. So hopefully you found value to this. If you are watching the replay, let me know your questions. Let me know if you want me to paint an offer, what an offer looks like for whatever your industry is. Let me know. If you are in the service-based industry, right? This is mostly for service-based entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that have a hybrid-based business model, which means you have a service and a product. You can couple them together, right? So definitely take some time to review this training again. Come back with your questions. You can DM me your questions as well too. But once I take this training down, it's gone and it's gone forever. Okay. This document that I have here, I'm actually going to spruce it up a little bit more and I'm probably going to offer it. So if you're somebody that is going to be looking for this document, it's going to be filled out a whole lot more than what you see on this screen because I'm going to spruce it up, like I said, a little bit more to go along with this training. So again, this training is only going to be up 24 to 48 hours. Come in, take your notes, ask your questions, because once it's taken down, I won't be answering any more questions about the training. Okay. So hopefully this was helpful for you all that are looking to hit their first 100K in your business and trying to figure out how to do it. Again, try not to start less than having a $2,000 offer, because anything less than that, you probably are going to end up overworking yourself. And we don't want you to be overworked. We want you to still be able to work your business in like 20 to 25 hours a week. It's possible, right? But you have to be very streamlined. It's okay, Adrian. Like I said, it'll be up for 24 to 48 hours. So try to catch it in that time. But we want you to have a very streamlined strategy for what it is that you're doing. It's time out for us being on these platforms, not having a strategy, not having a place to direct our people, not knowing the purpose of what we're posting for, and not being more insightful about where we want to take our people to. Because again, it's gonna get to a point to where all of these platforms start charging, and you're gonna have to determine whether or not it's worth it. You paying the money to come on here and say whatever you got to say and purchase and have people purchase from you. If the trade off is great, you're gonna have to determine that at that time. So I'm trying to help you create your strategy so you don't have to scramble at the last minute. It takes a while to build community. It takes a while to build trust. So it's very important that you get started on doing this now and you don't wait. Like if you have questions, this is the time for you to ask, right? You don't need to wait. If you need somebody to help you build out your systems or your strategy, put your application in for Elevate Your Mastery coaching program. I work with my clients in their program to help outline their offers. We do mindset training, system-based training. All of that is included inside of their program during the time that you are in there. So if you know you need that supportive help, this is the time that you need to be paying for something like that so you can get what you need. So you will be well equipped out here and you can start making the transition into having this strategy for your business, because it's definitely going to make a difference within probably the next year or two, right? So don't wait. Don't wait to start panicking when it's too late, right? If you are somebody that's in the Memphis area, come to my digital workshop, my digital strategy workshop, how to grow your business with a streamlined digital strategy. It's here in the Memphis area. It's $197 per ticket. There's 15 slots available. We are going to do 2 hours of instruction and training. And then the last 2 hours are going to be centered around having hands-on assistance from me to be able to build out. You're going to leave the room with one email sequence done, one digital product done, one lead magnet completed, and one personalized digital strategy specifically for your business. You will get lunch and you will have the ability to network as well. So all of that for $197. If you run the plays correctly, you will get your return of investment, if not shortly after their class, hopefully within the same day. But we'll see how the plays run, right? So I'm only speaking to the action takers. If you are somebody who drags their feet, I am not the person for you, and I cannot help you see the outcome of anything that you don't desire to see. I can't do it. So if you are solutions oriented and you're ready to go and you like, I need what I need and I'm ready to take off, I'm ready to soar, I'm here for you and I'm ready to have the discussion. My DMs are open. This is the end of Winning Wisdom Wednesdays. I will see you all maybe this weekend or maybe next week. We'll see. Bye, y'all.